Gentlemen, let me ask you something important. Have you ever wondered why some men over 50 seem calm, strong, confident, and energetic, while others feel tired, foggy, and drained no matter how much they rest? The difference is not luck. It's not genetics alone. And it's definitely not age. In many cases, the difference comes down to one silent factor that most men never track until it's already too low: testosterone. As a urologist would tell you, testosterone doesn't disappear overnight. It slowly declines year after year, quietly affecting your energy, your motivation, your muscle strength, your sleep, and yes, your performance as a man. The real danger is not low testosterone itself. The danger is ignoring it and assuming this is just how aging feels. Because it isn't. Aging should feel slower, wiser, calmer, but not weak. Testosterone is the silent engine behind how a man feels in his own body, not just sexually, but mentally and emotionally. It affects how you recover from stress, how clearly you think, how deeply you sleep, how motivated you feel, and how present you are in your own life. And after the age of 50, that engine doesn't break. It gets starved. Here's the harsh truth no one explains properly. Most men don't lose testosterone because of age. They lose it because their daily habits send the wrong signals to the body. Chronic stress, poor sleep, inflammation, low healthy fat intake, late night eating, alcohol, and constant stimulation all tell the body one thing: survival mode. And when the body is in survival mode, it shuts down anything it considers non-essential. Testosterone is one of the first things to go. A urologist looks at hormone health differently than most people. It's not about boosting. It's about removing resistance. It's about creating an internal environment where testosterone can be produced naturally again, quietly, steadily, without forcing anything. This is where the nighttime ritual becomes critical. Most men focus on what they do during the day. But testosterone doesn't care about your morning coffee or your afternoon motivation. Testosterone is built at night, during deep sleep, when the nervous system is calm and inflammation is low. If your nights are broken, your hormones will be too. And that's why what you consume before bed matters far more than most men realize. Let's talk about olive oil, not as a cooking ingredient, but as a biological signal. Extra virgin olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats, which are essential for hormone synthesis. Testosterone is literally made from fat-based molecules. When men spend decades avoiding fats, skipping meals, or relying on processed foods, the body adapts by reducing hormone output. It doesn't argue. It simply adjusts. But olive oil does something even more important at night. It reduces oxidative stress. Oxidative stress damages cells over time, including the Leydig cells in the testes that produce testosterone. When these cells are under constant inflammatory attack, their output declines. Olive oil helps calm that internal environment. Now, let's bring in the ingredient that most men underestimate: turmeric. From a urologist's perspective, chronic inflammation is one of the most overlooked testosterone killers in older men. This isn't dramatic inflammation that causes pain. This is silent, low-grade inflammation that raises cortisol slightly every night. Cortisol is the stress hormone, and cortisol and testosterone are natural enemies. When one rises, the other falls. Curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, directly interferes with inflammatory pathways that elevate cortisol. But here's the key detail most people miss. Curcumin is poorly absorbed on its own. That's why mixing turmeric with olive oil matters. Curcumin is fat-soluble. Olive oil acts as a carrier, allowing it to enter the bloodstream effectively. A small pinch of black pepper activates piperine, which further increases absorption. This isn't folklore. It's biochemistry. Taken before bed, this combination helps lower nighttime inflammation, calm the nervous system, and support deeper sleep cycles. And deep sleep is where testosterone is actually produced. Men often ask why they feel exhausted despite sleeping for 7 or 8 hours. The answer is simple. They are not reaching deep sleep consistently. Inflammation, blood sugar instability, and stress hormones interrupt the process. This nighttime mixture helps remove those barriers. Now imagine what happens when this becomes a routine. Night after night, your body begins to associate bedtime with safety and recovery. Blood vessels relax. Heart rate slows. Cortisol drops. The brain enters restorative phases more easily. Testosterone production is no longer suppressed. It's allowed to function. Men who follow this consistently don't wake up feeling superhuman. That's not the point. They wake up feeling normal again. Calm, clear, grounded. Their thoughts don't race as much. Their energy lasts longer during the day. Their motivation feels internal instead of forced. There's also a psychological shift that's rarely discussed. Testosterone influences confidence, decisiveness, and emotional stability. When levels are low, men become reactive, irritable, or withdrawn without understanding why. When levels improve, men don't become aggressive. They become centered. Let me tell you about a man named Suresh, age 61. He wasn't looking to improve performance. He just felt disconnected from himself. He described it as watching life instead of living it. Blood work showed his testosterone was low normal. Not low enough for medication. Too low to feel good. His doctor didn't rush to prescribe anything. Instead, he focused on sleep, inflammation, and nighttime habits. Olive oil and turmeric before bed became a small but consistent ritual. After several weeks, Suresh noticed something unexpected. He felt mentally sharper, more patient, more present. His body hadn't changed overnight, but his internal state had. That's what hormone balance does. It restores alignment. Now let's be clear. This is not a replacement for medical care. A real urologist would never promise miracles. This habit won't override serious medical conditions. But it does something powerful. It removes obstacles that block your body's natural ability to function. Most testosterone supplements fail because they try to force output instead of supporting the system. They ignore sleep. They ignore inflammation. They ignore stress. They ignore timing. And then men blame age. Age isn't the enemy. Misalignment is. Another benefit of this nighttime ritual is what it replaces. It replaces late-night snacking, alcohol, and sugar, 3 of the biggest hormone disruptors in men over 50. Alcohol increases estrogen conversion. Sugar spikes insulin and cortisol. Heavy meals disrupt sleep. Removing those alone can improve testosterone levels significantly. This ritual also sends a psychological message. It tells your body that you are paying attention, that you are no longer neglecting recovery. That strength still matters. A man who supports his recovery will always outperform a man who simply pushes harder. So tonight, when the house gets quiet and the day slows down, remember this. Strength after 50 is not about effort. It's about intelligence. It's about timing. It's about creating the right conditions and letting the body do what it was designed to do. Testosterone doesn't need to be chased. It needs to be allowed. Stay with this channel because in the next video, we'll talk about why most men accidentally destroy testosterone after 8 p.m. without realizing it. If you're still watching, comment control below. Because the strongest men are the ones who understand their bodies.